Today we're going to add another hydraulic outlet to the rear of this Mahindra 1635, and I've already got one factory on here, but I really need two for mowing. So one of them is going to be for the top link for the mower, and the other one is to lift the mower itself. Now with two hydraulic circuits or two remotes to the back, you can also use a flail mower and a host of other things. What I've decided to do is go with Tractor Innovations. This would be the third kit that I bought. They're around $625 or something like that. So it's really the most inexpensive way to add a remote. And I use them so infrequently that the way that this one's going to go on is going to be ideal for me. Is another push-pull lever here that steals oil from the lift lower of the loader bucket. And the reason I like the lift lower is because you got the float function, whereas if I was going to put it on the front, I'd probably use the side to side, the dump curl, but I'm not going to use that for this. So anyway, I've gone ahead and identified which two ports are the lift lower, and that is blue and green. So what I've done is gone ahead and released all the pressure off the tractor, and usually you just bring this around a couple times and it takes the pressure off. You'll know when you've got pressure on there because what happens is these little pitons in here will be rock hard and they won't give at all. And you'll notice it on these, but you'll notice it especially on the male ends. So it's really imperative that to save yourself a lot of aggravation that you take the pressure off your circuits. So the first one of these I bought was for my John Deere 3039R, and I got it on eBay. And if you buy it directly from him off his website, you save a few dollars, and if you buy more than one kit, you also get a discount. So this will be the third set that I bought, and I don't get paid to do this, so this is not a paid promotion. I try to avoid doing paid promotions because I feel like if you're taking money from an advertiser, then you're kind of like forced to say something positive about that person or that entity. Whereas if I'm just independently making these videos, I don't need to do that. Now, having said that, Super Clean has given me some merchandise, but they didn't pay me. They just gave me some merchandise and said, go ahead and try this in one of your videos, which I did. So in this video, we're going to go ahead and give away some Super Clean products. So there'll be a drawing probably in about a week after this video comes out, and you'll see that in the description below the video. So what I'll do is I'll just use a random comment. There's online. There's some programs that'll just draw a random comment, and then I'll read the comment, make sure it's something that I like, and then that person will get some Super Clean products sent their way. So regardless, here we've got the hoses and the hardware kit, a bunch of tie wraps. He does a great job packaging, and you always get plenty of hose, so it's not like you never get enough. So we'll just uncurl some of this here and see where we're at. So we're going to have a little bit of light rain today, which is fine. It makes it a little cooler. So the way this comes is you've got this little port right here, and you want to be careful of that because that's actually going to go inside, and that's going to change the flow of hydraulic oil from your loader to your remote. So we want to be real careful we don't screw that up. Now this one here has been designed to mount on the firewall of the tractor. So he's got it right about in here somewhere. It's about where it's set. And with a 1635, you got all kinds of room in behind here. So this is metal, so it's a good solid place to screw into. And there's nothing in there. So like some tractors, I've seen a lot of busy things in back there, but this one we're good to go. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is kind of set this where I want it, and I got this automatic center punch here. So there's a tilt on here, and I'll bring the camera around so you can see how this fits. I'm going to hear some thundering, so if it gets thunders and lightnings, I'll have to take a break. But see this little slope right here? If you go to the bottom of that a little bit, it seems like a good place to put this. So I've gone ahead and marked it, and what I did is I found that this doesn't quite have enough length to go through there, so we'll just go to where I was able to scratch the paint off, and then what this does is it puts a little divot in there, so it makes it a lot easier to drill. So people say you're either a DeWalt guy or Milwaukee guy, and I have both, so I guess I'm strange. So this is upside down, but we're going to put it like like this. Reach in behind there and put our washers on. The hardest part's getting in behind there to try to hold everything without it falling off and get the nut started. So what this knob does is this knob screws on here. Now, I'm told Mahindra gets their loaders from a couple different places. This one's from Kansas Machine Works, I believe, KMW. And I want to show you something here that's a little bit different on some different. Did I say Kubota? I meant Mahindra. So you see these ports right here. Okay, here's your lift, lower, and then your side to side dump and curl. Well, on some tractors these are reversed. So these may be over there, those may be over here. Some tractors have the hydraulics all inside here. This one doesn't. I don't know why some are different, but you can see this one's got hoses down the side with like a cover over it, and there's one down bottom. So you may have a different loader. So just something to be aware of. And then when you get this tightened down, there's not a lot of space in here, so you want to make sure you get this turned like that, because if it's some other way, it's going to bind. But with it like that, you got plenty of room to go in and out. And like I said, we're not going to use this a ton. It's basically you pull it out, make an adjustment or two, and then you put it back and you don't need to connect the hydraulic hoses. These two male ports up here are going to replace the blue and green down here. So I'm going to take the blue and greens and plug them up here. I'm going to take these hoses off this and plug them where the blue and green were, and then these are going to run to the back. So essentially what I'm doing is I just have a switch where I'm switching oil from going that way. And to be aware of too is it's really tight confinement in there. So trying to get your hands into doing all these things can be a little frustrating, and there's not a lot of clearance here, but there is enough. So everything's pretty tight tolerances. So if you have big hands, you might struggle with it. Let's go ahead and close this. Everything's free, so nothing binds. Go ahead and put the grill guard back. So now the next obstacle that I'm finding is getting the hose in between. See, there's all kinds of room back here. So I may be able to pull the hose back, connect the fitting down in behind, but you're not going to go this way with it, so that's not going to work. So we'll try this other way. I think that's how it's. I don't take my loader off pretty much ever, so this isn't really an issue for me. Now, if I was one of those people who I needed to take my loader off and on to put, say, a snowblower on or whatever a lot, then this may not be the right application for you, because there's a lot of things in there to unhook, and like I said, the amount of space there is to put your hands is pretty small. So that's probably going to go like that, and then I'll neaten this up here in a second. So we've talked about this in some other videos about the Mahindra tractors and why they put this block here. The only thing that makes any sense is they put it there to make it easy for the technicians to add the backhoe, the loader, whatever. It's easy, whereas some tractors you got to take the fender off and the wheel off to get to it. So this can be a liability. I mean, it's got some protection on it in different places, but you don't want to be driving over stumps. If you go out in the woods and start getting into a lot of brush, with brush sticking up and trees and everything, there's a good potential here to do some serious damage, so just be super careful. But since this is where the hydraulic hoses all go, and I've got throttle cables here, and so you got your foot throttle and your hand throttle cables right here, I don't want to be binding those up at all. So I'm just going to come down around, and I won't tie wrap this yet, but I'll bring this down around. I think it's going to go like that. We'll just hook it to the existing hoses, and we'll come up through in the back. So we'll try taking a look at that and see where we can come up in a logical spot. It's already pretty busy on the back. This right here is for the seat. The backhoe doesn't have a self-contained seat on it. So what happens is you lift the lever and flip the seat. The seat lifts, spins, and then latches here. So we don't want to block that. We've also got the backhoe, the Power Beyond hydraulics here, and we've already got a remote here. So we're probably gonna have to do something like this, which will be, won't be ideal, but it's way away from the 3-point hitch rock shaft, so we're not worried about that. and I can still get the drawbar out. Everything looks like I can still access it. So we're going to unhook this bracket that Mahindra provided for this remote and hook it on here like that, I guess. Let's see how this arrived. This looks a little stove up, but hopefully it's okay. Usually don't come assembled. So what we've got to do is take these two plugs out, and then we take these two, put some tape on there. It looks like there was some on there maybe, so I can't, I gotta put this down. I usually go in the center hole. The top and bottom have to do with like draft control and some other things. It's a little, you lose your top link bracket when you get a backhoe. There's a couple different ways you can hook this up. Some people like the shiny part on the inside, some like it on the outside. It doesn't really matter, but I like to make it so that the hoses come out in a loop. And if this goes the wrong way, if it doesn't, like if you want it to go forward to float, and it doesn't, you just reverse the hoses here. It's not a biggie. All right, let's see if this works. Rear hydraulics, and then to use your loader again, you just push that forward. So it works pretty good. I don't have any leaks other than what I had initially back there. I think I've got it all set. I just had a problem with the way it came from the factory. This wasn't tightened up good, so I shot some oil out. But everything looks pretty good through here, and I'll check it a little bit more and fix it if I need to, but it seems to work pretty good. Okay, so now that you've watched the whole video, this is how you win the contest. Leave a comment. I'll use a third-party app to select the comment, and then I'll verify that it's something reasonable and relevant. And what I'll do is I'll pin that person's screen name to the top after a week, to the top. So you'll come back and look at the comments in a week. You'll check the pinned comments, which will be the #1 top comment, and I'll pick you as the winner. And then that winner needs to email me at my Ledgmere Google address, which I'll have in the description as well. So when you email me your name and your ship-to address, I'll forward that on to Super Clean, and then they'll send you the product. It sounds more complicated than it is. So if you have any questions, though, you can always just comment in the section down below, or email me at my Google account. You'll see that out there too. So anyway, good luck. Thanks for watching. Everything seems to be working fine. The next video is going to be the Gaspardo Fiore sickle bar mower. I got to do some work on the knife because I'm cutting hay next week. So until next time, thanks for watching and take care.